Hi, my name is Bob. From July 3rd through the 22nd of 2019, my wife and I took a 3-week land and sea tour of the Mediterranean Sea and surrounding area. This map shows the route. Our cruise ship, the Emerald Princess, took us throughout the Mediterranean. We flew into Rome International Airport on July 3rd, 2019. That afternoon, we took a walking tour of the central city. These are some of the sights we saw our first afternoon in Rome. The next day, July 4, 2019, we took a walking tour of the ancient city. Our first stop was the Colosseum. I asked the tour guide about the holes on the front of the Colosseum. He said they were cut into the walls by barbarians when they conquered the city to get the metal that held the stones together. In those days, metal was a valuable commodity. This is the entrance to the Colosseum where we met our tour guide. You can see there is no floor. The floor was made of wood but has since decayed. During gladiator battles, sand was sprinkled on the wood to absorb the blood. Here is one of the many arches in Rome that was erected in honor of an emperor. Here is the Forum. Notice the ground level in ancient times was much lower than it is today. I took this picture to show the soldiers and army vehicles that were parked along the road in ancient Rome to guard these priceless structures. Here is the Pantheon. Pan means God and Theo means worship of. Thus, Pantheon means the worship of many gods. This is the Vatican City. The courtyard was relatively empty that day because Putin from Russia was visiting. Leading to the Sistine Chapel, where we were not allowed to take pictures. The next day we decided to take a train to Florence to see the marble statue of David that was carved by Michelangelo. Bronze replica of the statue of David outside the Accademia Gallery, where the actual marble statue of David is displayed. There is the statue of David carved by Michelangelo. Here are the doors to the baptistry, where I was pickpocketed. In the afternoon, we got on a train and we went to Pisa to see the Leaning Tower. Again, there was an army truck and army personnel guarding the structure. The next day we boarded our ship. This is our suite. We had a bedroom, TV room, and a balcony. The next day we woke up in Salerno and we took an hour and a half long bus drive to Pompeii. Here we are in Pompeii. The amphitheater is still used today for plays and other theatrical events. There is Mount Vesuvius in the background that exploded and buried the city. There is our tour guide. There is my wife sitting in the amphitheater. That is the sewage system of Pompeii. Sewage flowed down the middle of the street. The people walked on the sidewalk. On a hot day, I bet it was difficult to go for a stroll. Here is our tour guide. A very coveted position. There is a fresco painted on the wall. Here is a hunter with wolves attacking him. Here is another hunter with a bow and arrow. There is a permanent resident of Pompeii. There is Mount Vesuvius in the background that exploded and buried the city. There is someone that got covered by lava. Their body has decayed. If you were to drill into it, it would be a hollow cast. There is the god Apollo. There is a sundial.
Let's give him a nice round of applause. All of that for wonderful clarity. Yes. Great. That's awesome. How can you...
The 8th of July was a day at sea. That night we ate at club class dining. We walked through the casino to get to the club class dining. There is what my wife ate that night. I had the same thing. The next day we arrived in Kotor, Montenegro. Montenegro means Black Mountains. The old city of Kotor dates back before 1166. There I am, the essential tourist. The modern city of Kotor was built along the seashore. The old city was built high in the mountains and is surrounded by formidable walls. We decided to take a bus ride up to the old city of Kotor. We stopped at a cafe for lunch. It was a very pretty view. There is the gate to get into the old city. One of the buildings in here was built in 1166. See the cafes that were open. We ate at some of those cafes. There's the tender that took us to Corfu, Greece from our cruise ship because the cruise ship could not dock at Corfu. Here we are on the island of Crete. We are going to tour the old monastery. It's a very old monastery. It had a turbulent past. Greece was invaded by the Turks. When the monastery was attacked, some people congregated in the ammo dump. There they blew themselves up so they could kill the Turks rather than be taken captive. Next day, July 12th, we arrived at Mykonos, Greece. This is the old city of Mykonos, very pretty architecture. The amphitheater in Mykonos. The more expensive seats were made of marble and had the owner's name carved on them. On July 13th, we arrived in Athens, Greece. We decided to take a bus up to the Acropolis. On the way up, we stopped at a cafe for lunch and ethnic dancing. Now there's a lot of stones lying around on the Acropolis. The government of Greece has decided that they're going to rebuild all these old structures. There you have a scaffold for the rebuilding process. There I am, camera in hand. This is the island of Santorini, Greece, which we arrived on July 14. On this island the archaeological site of Akrotiri is located. Some people say this is Atlantis. In the center of this picture is a toilet. We are doing a U-turn now, and we are going back to Kotor, Montenegro. There is a fish farm where they're growing fish. The next day we spent the day at the beach. The next day we arrived in Naples and we went to see a cameo shop. The following day we spent at sea. That morning we arrived in Barcelona, Spain, where we disembarked the ship. We toured the city during the day. That evening we went to a dinner show, where we enjoyed flamenco dancing.
want to get one just with one first?
The next morning we went to see the Sangria Familia designed by Gaudi. This is a model of the Sangria Familia. The portion in the cream color has not been completed. I don't know when it will. That afternoon we toured Park Gruel. This park was also designed by Gaudi, and it looks like a gingerbread village. This was our last day in Spain. We had to finish it off with pastries. That was our last day in Barcelona. The next day we hopped on a plane and headed for the good old USA. Here's my seat. It folds down into a bed. This is my wife having ice cream.